Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is wangari, and I officially just completed my first year at Harvard, and I'm shaking, I'm quaking. I'm like, did I really just finish my first year of college on the internet, on the Zooms, on the interwebs? I have questions, I have thoughts, I have comments. This is something I've been thinking about, and I've gotten a couple questions on it. Was doing my first year of university, of college, of the whole college experience online, on Zoom, via the internet worth it? And recapping my experience of my freshman year, and if I had to do it again, would I do it again? Would I do anything differently? What would I do differently, and why? So let's get into all that nitty-gritty in this video. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe. There's a red button waiting for you to subscribe. And if this is your second video that you're watching, I'm your third, I'm your fourth, because you've binge watched all my videos. Sema, say the truth and shame the devil. You've binge watched my videos and you've not subscribed. For what? For what? Subscribe. It's free. You help me, I help you, we help each other. It's an agreement, it's a treaty you and I have. I might come back. Let's get into the video. So of course, I have my thoughts written out on my laptop, and so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm 3 weeks into my summer break. I've really been enjoying it, just chilling, editing, creating content, doing what my heart desires. And yeah, I've done some introspection, and let's go over my freshman year. Let's just recap it. So if you're new here and this is your first video, you're like, what the hell? I have been at home for the past year. I have been doing my freshman year of college via Zoom in Nairobi, Kenya. Harvard is not in Nairobi. Harvard is in Cambridge, Massachusetts, thousands of miles away, in a completely different time zone, across the Atlantic, across the Pacific. I don't know which ocean it is, in a totally different time zone. So just to give context, so right now they are in Eastern Daylight Time, and so East African time is 7 hours ahead, and when they're in Eastern Standard Time, we're 8 hours ahead. It's a whole thing. Daylight savings, useless. Don't ask me, ask them. If I had to do this all over again, is the question I'm asking myself. Would I, or would I do something differently? And I think overall my answer is yes and no, which is a wishy-washy answer, but of course with everything in life, it's a gray area. There are like 50 shades of gray or whatever. And so let's start with the no. Let's start with the negative, because I feel like I just want to get out of the way and kind of rant, because I love ranting on the internet. That's my form of therapy, And so why no? And as I've stated, I'm in a completely different country, in a completely different continent, in a completely different time zone. And when I was in the thick of things, I think I really underestimated how being in a totally different time zone has affected me. I'm really congratulating myself, and I'm really proud of myself for getting through this thing, because I used to be like, I'm in a different time zone, it doesn't matter, but it so matters. Like literally, I would sleep no earlier than 2 a.m. I would sleep up to 5 a.m. some days. I would attend office hours at 3 a.m. Literally, I would tell my younger sisters to wake me up at 3. I would go for club events that are at like 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is literally like 4 a.m. my time. I would have to wake up and go for those types of club meetings. I would do math at 9:30 p.m. Have you ever tried understanding math at 9:30 p.m.? It's not fun. And my day would start at 9 a.m. because I try to wake up early and I try to be productive, and it makes me feel good about myself when I wake up early. And so I would have a whole day, 9 to 4, where I'm, doing my assignments, doing my housework, doing my schoolwork, editing. And then at 4, 5 p.m., that's when my day is starting, and it's really, really hard. And of course, everyone is asleep and you're just like seated at a desk studying. It affects your mental health, it affects your physical health. It's very lonely is what I would like to say. And that's another thing. I've been so lonely, especially the first semester. The first semester was so rough. Like, I know it was new and I was still like excited. Yeah, it's Harvard, yeah, I'm a Harvard person, yeah. But I just didn't realize how lonely I was, and I think I felt really isolated, both within the Harvard community and within the Kenyan community, because I was in this weird place where I'm at Harvard, but I'm not at Harvard. So I can't relate to people who are at Harvard doing Harvard things. And I'm in Kenya, but I'm really not in Kenya, because I spend my time doing things that are at Harvard. And so I can't relate to people who are doing things in Kenya. And of course, there was an international student community in Kenya, which was nice to have. It's just that it's a whole thing. They had already formed friend groups. I was like outside, and I really didn't want to be that awkward person who's be like, hey, y'all are going to K1. Okay, I'm just going to tag along with you guys as you go to K1, you know, nothing awkward or anything. But I think I was just really lonely. In my second semester, I made actual friends, and I have friends who like I meet up with for Zoom calls, and we text, and we like FaceTime, which is nice. And you know, okay, that's a good thing. So you see the good and the bad are mixed together, because I felt really lonely, but then I found purposeful friendships that I made that I wouldn't have been able to make. Back to the negative stuff. I think people really underestimate how hard it is to do school while being at home full time. You know, I was the oldest sister at home for most of the time, and so a lot of the housework would fall to me. You know, you have to clean the house, you have to clean the dishes, you have to do the clothes, you have to cook, you have to like take care of the pets, you have to make coffee and make tea and sweep outside and clean the shoes and all those stuff. First, I underestimated it because I was like, okay, I can arrange my time and be able to do all these things. But you eat at 7 p.m, you eat at 8 p.m. That's when I'm in class. So I'd literally be in class but cooking at the same time, and I'd be in class and like I have to clean the dishes. So I'm like up, it's 2 a.m. I have like dishes for the whole day that I have to do, and all I want to do is to sleep. But you know, I have to wash the dishes, and I have to clean the shoes, and I have to clean the house, and it was hard. And also, like, Nairobi is unreliable with power and electricity. If you exist in Nairobi, you know that KPLC likes to do nonsense. And so the number of times that I would miss a class because we have no power, or the number of times where I would have to like we had to get like power banks just so that I can charge my devices, or we would go to the neighbors and charge my iPad so that I can attend class, or I would go and like sit in a cafe. And at some point I became self-conscious, because there's only so many times you can tell a professor, or you can tell like a chairperson of a group that, hi, sorry, I can't come, we don't have power, until it starts sounding like you're lying. And you know, every time I would be like, oh, there's no power, or it starts raining and then power goes and connection goes, and I'd be like, oh, if I tell them it's raining and we have no power, am I like furthering African stereotypes of, you know, a dark continent that we don't have power? I mean, it's true, it's dark, we don't have electricity. Okay, we do, but it's inconsistent. And so I felt like I was contributing to like the African stereotype or whatever, and so I would hide it and you know, just try and get my assignments done as early as possible, so that in case power goes, I've already done my assignments, which was an added layer of stress for me that I didn't realize was there. Another aspect of it is, you know, the types of classes I'm taking, just that human interaction was not there. You know, I'm not meeting people outside of classes. And I liked most of my classes. I truly hated my math class. That class was the bane of my existence, and I despised it so much. And I used to cry so much because of that class. That class made me cry so much, and I felt so alone. I was watching New Amsterdam a few days ago, and this girl said something. She said that she lies in bed, and in the morning, you know, after you wake up, she lies in bed and she mentally plans out all the things she has to do on her to-do list, and then she sees herself failing at each and every one of those things. And that moment, that statement resonated with me so hard that I literally paused and I had to think about myself, because I realized that I do that a lot. You know, in the morning, I think of all the things I have to do, and then I think of how I'm going to fail at each and every one of those things. And you know, it's hard to get out of bed. I was in a really low place at some point. If you don't know, I got COVID the last week of March. I got COVID, and so I was unable to attend my classes, and I was so behind, and I'd never really caught up, because once April set in, I was so behind with my classes. I was 2 weeks behind. I had to catch up on those 2 weeks, and then final season came around, so I had to do my finals, and I had to do my projects and my assignments and my exams, and it was just a horrible time for me, mentally and physically, because after COVID, my body took a while to get back to 100%. You know, I lost my taste, I lost my smell, I was lethargic, I was so tired. You just don't have energy. Like, I think the longest lasting symptom for me from COVID was just the lack of energy and the fatigue. And so I stopped going for walks, because, you know, you're infectious, you have symptoms, and then you're so tired, you don't even have energy to shower. How can you even take a walk? And so all these things just really tainted my freshman year, I would say. It's not like it's not like you can have like a rainbows and happy-go-lucky. I'm sure if I was on campus, there would be things that would affect me differently. I think those were the negative highlights of my freshman year. Also, breakout rooms and clubs where I'm the only black person. Bro, gender and race dynamics in breakout rooms. I don't understand why no one has written a paper on this, because bro, first of all, like being the only black person in a breakout room sometimes is really, it's really an interesting experience that I've never had, because as I've mentioned many times, I'm in Kenya, and so everyone here is black, and so I really don't think about my blackness until you get to a space where they're the only black person, and you're like, that's not that the people are racist or anything. It's just like, and even being a woman, going into a breakout room where you're the only female is also another thing where you're like, I am speaking, why did you speak over me? Or you say something, yeah, like especially in my in my like STEM classes, like you say something, you explain a concept, and then the guys are just quiet, and then someone explains the concept back, literally saying what you're saying, and I'm like, I said that, I explained that, why are you explaining again? I explained, was I not correct? Race and gender dynamics in Zoom breakout rooms. That's on that. And now the positive things, the good things. Let's talk about all the good things that have happened to me my freshman year and why I would do all this all over again. Number one, growth. I have grown so much in this past year. 2020 and 2021 have been challenging. They've been so challenging, financially, economically, socially, mentally, physically, sexually, all the alleys. It has been challenging. I think there's like a fancy quote about this, that in the darkest times, that's when like humans, we shine, like our goodness comes out the most. And I think that has really been evident this year. I've gotten to a place where I've learned about myself as a person. I've learned who I am in some settings. I've learned how to take care of my mental health, which is something I never ever have done before in my life. I learned that I enjoy journaling sporadically. I learned that nature is so calming and has a calming effect on me, which is funny that I didn't know this, because in high school in Alliance, I used to walk around the campus singing to myself, like the grounds, because Alliance was like in the forest. That's why we used to be called bush. We're in the forest, and I used to like walking around after supper just singing, because like trees and me, we're just like one. We're just like one. I learned that I need to take walks sometimes to get out of my head. I learned that I love podcasts and I enjoy podcasts. I've learned that I enjoy yoga and I like doing yoga. I've learned that, you know, skipping and working out and just like running and moving your body in any way, it really is good for stress and anxiety. It really is. And I've grown socially. I've made friends. I've lost friends. I've made friends. I've learned how to filter what I read and what I see on social media. I've learned how to confidently post a picture on Instagram. I used to hate Instagram. If you listen to a podcast I was on, The Good, the Bad, and the Busharian, you can learn more about how I hated Instagram. And nowadays I just post and I'm like, fuck it. I started a YouTube channel. Bro. Personally, I've never been a person who like, I've always wanted to start a channel. No. I started wanting to start a channel in 2019. I started a channel and I've grown my channel. We are almost at 2,000 subscribers. Man. And even with starting a channel, I've learned how to put myself on the internet, something that's really scary. I won't lie. I've learned how to edit and how to use editing software and how to use like Photoshop and LumaFusion and Adobe Suite, the Adobe Creative Suite. I've learned how to like find music online, and I've learned how all this cool editing stuff that's really cool that I never knew before, and I never knew I was interested in that. Now I am. I've learned how to not care what people say about me, which is something I'm still, you know, finalizing and still like strengthening. But I've learned that validation needs to come from within, that when you post a picture and you think you look hot, that's enough. You don't need anyone to tell you look hot, because if you look for positive validation from people, then the negative comments will also affect you. You see, you can't just like be affected by the positive ones and not by the negative ones. It's a double-edged sword. And so I've learned not to give a fuck. I've joined clubs at Harvard that I truly enjoy. The African Student Association and being a writer for the Crimson blog. Those are things that I truly enjoy, and I feel like if I was on campus, I would join many clubs just because other people were joining them, just because of peer pressure, and I wouldn't be able to focus my time. I'm literally only in 3 or 4 clubs, and I'm active in those 3, like genuinely active in them. Like I write and I post and I make content for them, and I plan stuff and I attend stuff, and it's really cool. I've taken interesting classes, and I think if I was on campus, I would just take classes that everyone takes, like economics 1A and CS 50. I would take all those 101s. But this semester, and last semester, I challenged myself to take classes that I normally wouldn't take, just to step outside my comfort zone, to learn different topics, because I don't know what I want to major in that much, and I don't know what I want to do after college. And so I've really taken this time to take interesting classes, because if you're going to take a class in the middle of the night, it better be freaking interesting. And so that's something that I think I wouldn't have been able to do if I was on campus. I made amazing intentional friendships. I don't think I would have been able to have such intentional where like we actually set times to meet and times to FaceTime and times to Zoom and times to hang out, rather than just be like, we should hang out, yeah, we should hang out, intentional friendships where you actually support and care about each other. I got to experience my first year with my family. I got to do college with my sisters and with my mom, which is something that I love my sisters more than anything in this world, and I'm happy that they got to see me experiencing these things, and I got to experience college with them. They're now in high school and they're thriving in boarding school, and they're bougie ass boarding school, and I'm happy for them. But I'm really happy for the time we had together, even though it was stressful and I got annoyed with them a lot for turning on the TV when I'm in the middle of class. It was really nice to experience my first year with my sisters and my mom. I learned how to say no, which is important. I'm still working on it, but I learned, because of social media and because of YouTube, you get a lot of requests and a lot of comments and stuff like that, and you just have to learn how to be like, no, you're not worth my time, you're not worth my energy, I won't give you my time, I won't give you my energy, and to be completely fine with that. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to be a yes man, you don't have to be a yes woman or whatever. You have to learn how to protect your time and protect your energy, because it's yours, and don't let people waste you like that. And so with all those good and bad things, with all those positive and negative things, would I do this all over again? I think yes, I would. 2 reasons. Practicality. Financially, for me, it was the best choice to do my freshman year online. But let me tell you something. If I had to pay a single cent, if I had to pay school fees, if I had to pay tuition to do online, never. No, it makes me very sad that there are people paying $85K for Zoom University, $85,000 to do Zoom University. I don't think that's fair. I think you've been robbed, because you pay $85K for the space, for the anyway. Overall, for me, my freshman year has been very high highs and very low lows. I've gotten to a good place with my mind, and I've gotten to a good place with my body, where I'm getting more confident putting myself on the internet. I've gotten more confident, with what I say, with what I do, with the projects I undertake, with the papers I write, with the clothes I wear, with the way I walk, the way I move. I've looked more inward this past year than I ever have, with journaling, with yoga, with meditation and stuff like that. At the end of the day, yes, I would do this all again. My freshman year has been fun. I'm happy I got to do it with you guys also, which is something I haven't said. Some of you, I literally know your names, and I feel like we are real friends in real life, because I post a video, you're in the comments. I post a video, you're in the likes. I post a video, you're in my DMs. I post a picture on Instagram, you're in the comments, you're in the DMs. And there are some of you, like, I genuinely wait for you to comment or for you to message me, and who, like, I'm like, sees my day was trash, how was yours, and it makes me happy. I'm making friends on the internet, which is something I never thought I'd be able to do. So thank you for being here. Come on, just subscribe. Still subscribe. Subscribe. That's all I have to say. It's good content here. This video has been very cathartic for me. It is currently 1:12 a.m. and I'm going to go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me. From my college decisions reaction video, to choosing Harvard, to starting Harvard, to finishing my first year. You know, we're just growing. We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to learn. We're continuing to better ourselves. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. For those of you asking, was it worth it? 1000%. 1000%. It was worth it. And I know at the end of the day, when I graduate in 2024, I look back at my experiences at Harvard, and although some will be positive and some will be negative, I think the positive will outweigh the negative, and it will be 1000% worth it. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Okay, thanks. Bye.